Welcome, I'm Kazuya Tetsuo and you're watching a Tekken 7 tips guide tutorial video, and I'll be covering the pros and cons of two gamepad grips, normal grip and claw grip. The point of this video is not to tell you which grip you should use, but instead assist you in choosing which of these two hand techniques works best for you. That being said, let's get started with normal grip. So as you can see on the screen, I will be demonstrating these grips with some of Kazuya's moves. I will be referring to the 4 face buttons as 1, 2, 3, 4. Left punch, left kick, right kick. And you know, the same is true with an Xbox One controller. 1, 2, 3, 4, a left punch, left kick, right kick. So we'll be continuing the rest of this video with the DualShock 4. Tekken 7 is a 4-button 3D fighter, with characters having at least 80 moves, give or take, at their disposal. Every single combo and move is executed by these 4 buttons and the D-pad, of course. So with a normal grip, your thumb will have to cover all 4 space buttons to execute most combos. The shoulders and trigger buttons on default are not in use. As you can see, if I press start and go onto the controller setup, you can see that the only buttons that are really assigned is the 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is a square, triangle, X, circle. Everything else that you can see as combinations have nothing other than R1, which is the rage arts, but I want to cover rage arts in another video. They have its own unique thing. It's pretty much your supers. You can just do it by a push of a button. But anyways, like I said, that would be another video. Now let's look at some simple Kazuya combos. It's done by pressing 1, 1, 2 with your thumb. As you can see, Tekken has combos that require fast execution and speed with your thumb. So, 1, 1, 2. Now, if you try doing this slow, you can see that it just doesn't come out. 1, 1, 2. You need to be very quick with your thumb. 1, 1, 2. He also has a combo that consists of back, 3, 1, 4, and 1. Now this combo doesn't require insane speed and you can go slower. Not all combos in Tekken 7 require fast speed as so. This one, like I said, 1, 3, 4, 1. There you go. Let's go ahead and reset that. Back, 1, 3, 4, 1. Everything can be done with your thumb. Now on to grabs. Grabs in Tekken require you to press 2 buttons at the same time. 1 and 3, and 2 and 4. Your thumb should be able to press these 2 without much issues. Now you can assign your grabs to either the shoulder and trigger buttons of your choosing if you're having trouble pressing these at the same time. But I believe that with some practice, the 1 and 3 and 2 and 4 combinations won't be an issue. Tekken also has 1 and 2 button combinations and 3 and 4 button combinations. Now this is where stuff can get a little tricky, because if you're used to fighting games, you pretty much know, your thumb easily goes over your 1 and 3 button, square and X, and also triangle, circle, which is your 3 and 4, without much issues. But here's where you can start having some issues, because now your thumb has to hit the 1 and 2 buttons, and if you have a very big thumb, you might accidentally hit other buttons, or if you have a very skinny thumb, you're not gonna quite hit the 1 and 2 at the same time, because Kazuya does have a 1 and 2 combo, which looks like this. That is done by pressing 1 and 2. He doesn't, however, have a 3 and 4, which this one is required by pretty much sliding your thumb over the 3 and the 4. Very quickly. It's very quickly. It's almost like you're pressing them at the same time, however you're actually not. So again, if you go down to your controller setup, you'll be able to put these buttons wherever you want on your triggers or your shoulder buttons. The left punch, right punch is obviously your 1 and 2, and then you got your left kick and right kick, which is obviously your 3 and 4. So we know Kazuya has a 1 and 2 combo, so let's go ahead and assign your 1 and 2 to L1. Let's just make it L1. Of course, this is all your preference. Whatever feels comfortable to you, go for it. just experiment a little bit. So now, just by pressing L1, you get Kazuya's 1 and 2 combo. Remember, your shoulder and trigger buttons are here to assist you if you're playing normally, because there's combinations with your thumb that is going to be impossible to do. For instance, just about every single character, if not all characters, have an unblockable move. Kazuya's unblockable move consists of holding back on the D-pad with a combination of 1 and 4. Now obviously you can't hit 1 and 4 with your thumb because that is pretty impossible. You can do it, except, you know, in the heat of battle, doing something like this is just, yeah, that's gonna be rough. So that's the type of move that you're gonna have to go into your controller setup and put, you know, since 1 is left punch and 4 is right kick, you're gonna have to set that up to, you know, let's just say L2. Like I said before, this is all personal preference, whatever feels comfortable to you. So now, just by holding back and pressing L2 at the same time, you get Kazuya's unblockable electric spinny move, which looks badass. And that's pretty much it for normal grip, you know, strategy techniques. You're gonna have to utilize your shoulders and triggers. So if you don't really feel comfortable doing this type of you know thing, relying on these buttons up here in fighting games, then you might want to try out the claw technique, which I will be talking about just in a few seconds. So now let me give you the positives and negatives of playing with the normal grip. The positive thing is that it just feels natural. You're going to be able to pick it up and just start pressing buttons. It's natural. It's naturally to hold a controller like this. Another positive note is that, you know, both hands are supporting the controller equally. Again, falls into the natural thing. That's probably the same thing, honestly. And that's pretty much all I can think about in the positives. Now, negatives from holding it normally is that you will have to utilize, you know, your shoulders and triggers. Another negative that you might encounter down the line is if you like playing multiple characters, odds are you might have to reconfigure your top, shoulders, and trigger buttons every time you switch to that character. Because odds are, if, let's for instance, Kazuya has a move like his unblockable is L2, because that's what we assigned it to, you might get brainwashed into always thinking that L2 is your unblockable. So when you play another character, that button L2 will not be unblockable. It might be some other combination. So you're gonna have to reconfigure it into L2 for that character, and you're gonna have to be doing that every time you switch a character. Of course, it all comes down to conditioning and training. That won't be an issue if you're just really used to your characters and what you have assigned where. Other than that, that's pretty much how you'll have to play Tekken if you're gonna be playing with the normal grip. Now, on to the claw grip. Now I want to talk about the claw grip. With the claw grip, you hold your controller normally. Now the big difference is you're gonna move your index finger on top of your face buttons with your thumb. This is the claw grip. It's called claw because you're obviously making a claw like so, you know, like a crab claw is also what I've heard this be called. Very useful in like FPSs if you're playing very competitively, because then you play somewhat like this. But you know, this isn't FPS, we're talking about Tekken here. So the Tekken claw grip is so that, as you can see, you use it as an assist for your thumb so that you can start hitting those hard to get stuff that was impossible otherwise. With this claw grip, you pretty much got everything covered now. You will not have to use your triggers and your shoulder buttons at all, because now you can accomplish everything like Kazuya's unblockable, which consists of 1 and 4 with your claw, with your right hand. I said claw. Now you have Kazuya's 1-1-2 combo that I showed with, you know, using your thumb on the normal grip. Now with claw, you pull it off the same way, but now you use your index finger for hitting 2. And now, like I was said before, Kazuya's unblockable, which consists of 1 and 4, which on normal grip you'd have to assign that to something up here. With claw grip, you can easily access 1 and 4, like so. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and just say this. Claw grip is gonna feel very strange, and it's just gonna feel very uncomfortable. Odds are you might just drop it altogether and just be like, within 10 minutes you're gonna be like, man, forget that. I'm gonna go back to normal play and just start using these. That's totally fine. Do whatever is comfortable for you. Claw grip is just here so that you can just have access to everything without having to rely on these up here. That way when you switch characters too, you don't have to reconfigure these also. You can just, you're already used to it. Now, I said when you were holding for the claw grip, you could have these 3 fingers wrapped around the controller like so. However, that is going to be very awkward for you also. This is a way to learn it, but if it feels too awkward to you, what you can do is instead have the whole weight of the controller on your left hand, and what you do is you come in with a palm and you rest your controller on your palm like so, like you're pressing up against it. And now try doing the claw grip. Try to get in a position where it doesn't feel as awkward to you. Now Kazuya's 3-1-4-1, you use your index finger to hit that 4 way out there, like so. Now there is a third grip. It's a claw variant that I like to personally call as tapping. I call it tapping because, well, when you have your hand on a table and you just tap, you obviously do this. And this is exactly the technique that I use when I play Tekken. It's a form of claw technique, except instead of using your thumb and your index finger, I like to use my index finger and my middle finger to accomplish all these tasks. With the tapping claw technique, I like to hold it with my thumb on the inside and my index finger on the outside. Then I rest my palm over the handle or the grip of the controller. That way I have my index finger and my middle finger over my buttons, and I have full control over how I want to move it. Again, this type of technique will feel a little awkward, just like the claw, but this is just the way I like to play Tekken. So now looking back at combos, now your 1-1-2 you can easily access. Anything that requires 1 and 4 you can easily access as well, which ends up being Kazuya's unblockable in this case. Then of course you have access to his anything that is like 1 and 2 at the same time, anything that's 3 and 4 at the same time, and of course, any combo strings you just tap away. To me, it just feels a lot more quicker and responsive. More, I don't know, I've been doing this for a while, so to me it feels natural instead of having your thumb, to which you can do, as you can see. So, in the end, there is no right or wrong way to play Tekken. Use what is more comfortable for you. I just wanted to make this video to show you the different ways that you can play Tekken. Normal mode, of course, you will have to start using these, like I said. Claw mode, you can do everything in claw mode. Tap mode, I can actually do everything in tap mode. This is just the way I do it. When I need to get grabs, I sometimes stick my thumb out there, to hit my grabs. Or experiment. Do what feels good for you. And that's pretty much it when it comes down to grips. You decide what works best for you. Don't let anybody tell you that, hey, you're playing Tekken wrong if you play normal mode. You shouldn't be using these. No, just don't listen to that. If you feel comfortable playing normally and using your assists up here, do it that way. Tekken is all about having fun, and if you feel comfortable pulling off your moves like this, do it like this. If you want to give these claw and tapping variation a chance, give it a shot, see if you like it. Now, I did give you positives and negatives of normal mode, so let me give you positive and negatives of claw mode and tapping mode. Let's start with the negatives. It will feel uncomfortable. When you first start doing it, it will feel very strange and weird to do, hold your controller differently. And having your index finger or your middle finger up here, depending on what you try learning. Another negative is the whole weight of the controller is pretty much on your left hand, so you will start to feel some discomfort on your left hand over time if you're playing for long periods of time. Another negative is you will also start to feel some strain on your right hand because you're now kind of like have your hand in a claw type fist, and having it like that puts quite a bit of strain right here. So you'll start to feel some discomfort over time also. That way. Positives of using claw is you don't have to worry about using your shoulders and trigger buttons. They're completely unnecessary. You can access all combinations, all 80 plus combos for each character and moves with the 4 buttons. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is pretty much the biggest and only positive of using claw and tapping technique. Of course, when you switch characters, if you have multiple characters, then you don't have to worry about this up here again. So you're good to go. That is perhaps the biggest positive thing about using claw and the tapping style. I wanted to make this video, like I said, to not tell you which is better, normal or claw or the tapping style. You have to decide how you want to play Tekken, what feels comfortable for you. And this pretty much concludes the Tekken 7 gamepad hand grips, tips guide tutorial video. You decide what works best for you. The whole point of this video, like I've said before, is to assist you into choosing what works for you, what feels most comfortable for you. Obviously, holding it normally will feel most comfortable. However, if you're struggling with your thumb, if you're struggling having to mess with reassigning the top buttons, shoulders, and triggers, give it a shot with claw, give it a shot with taps. It will feel awkward, but over time, you will get used to it. Just like anything, you get used to it. I will be uploading more tips, guide, tutorial Tekken videos in the future, so if you really want to see more of those, let me know and I will make more videos. If you need help with certain tips, I am by no means a Tekken expert or a professional fighting game player. I just really like the Tekken series, and I feel like I know enough to be able to guide anyone that's new to the series or anyone that wants to improve on certain aspects in the right direction, hopefully. If I got anything wrong or if I missed something, please leave a comment, let me know, like, hey dickhead, you missed something right here, or that's false information, this is what you need to say. And of course I will listen. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Kamero Tetsuo, and you just watched a death count video, and like always, rock on.
Death count activated.